Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. So, CrazySexyCool The TLC Story. Let me just start by saying I have been super excited to see this movie, mainly because if you follow me and my page, you know that aside from Michael and Janet, TLC has always been one of my favorite say-all, be-all, everything, girl group, acts of anything since I've been growing up. That's why they got a spot on the wall. And it's hand-drawn. I got it from Tacoma Mall back when I still lived in Washington State. Back in I think I got it in 8th or 9th grade or something. But, yeah, I was really excited when I found out that they were making this movie. And it was such a cool idea, mainly because, you know, with this newer generation of kids, they don't really know who TLC is, just because they're from a different era. Shoot, hell, they barely remember Destiny's Child at this point, because, you know, kids are 15 and they were born in 2005. I'm like, how did that happen? I don't understand the math, but I swear that's what it's like. When I'm at work and I'm registering all these new kids in my program, I'm like, you were born in 2006? How the heck are you in 8th grade? I don't understand. But, yeah, so it was a really exciting way to find out, yeah, my group's getting a movie. I thought the movie was really, it was a really good watch. I give it a B, just for a few minor details, small things like details, kind of bothered me, just because, you know, of course, when you are a huge fan of any group, actor, politician, whatever, you kind of tend to follow and know all the details about them. So, of course, when stuff happened in the movie that didn't happen in real life or happened that way, you're kind of like, man, that ain't how it happened. So, as a big super fan, I was over the top. Honestly, y'all, I had to go find my stand card from 10 years ago, and I had to dust it off and polish it to watch this movie. And I was sitting there with my stand card, just watching the movie, enjoying my freaking self. But now that I've enjoyed the movie and I have to go put my stand card back on the shelf, I have to come back to reality. So, just small things. The biggest critiques I had were just some of the timing and stuff was a little bit off. So, I guess when they're in the car and, let me go ahead and say, I'm going to give a few spoilers, but I mean, hey, it's all real life anyway, so if you watch Behind the Music, you know what happened. But, you know, when they're in the car and they hear the song on the radio for the first time, and it's What About Your Friends, I'm like, that was the third single. Why did y'all act like, okay, whatever, cool. And then, just small things like when they did the press conference, for fan mail, it was a little confusing because the way they were dressed, you would have thought it was still 95, because the outfits and the hairstyles they had was definitely from an MTV interview back in 95, right after, or it was right around the time that they were getting ready to announce that they were broke. So I'm like, this is a little confusing. Plus, I just thought the movie was too short. If it could have just had maybe 45 more minutes to really go into some of the details, it would have been a little bit more thorough. And then I couldn't stand all the dang freaking commercials. I was like, VH1, next time, just do it all the way through. This is how I feel every time I watch the Jackson 5 movie. I'm like, dang, y'all go to commercial every time. You know this movie already 12 days long. You know, y'all can't be going to commercial every 5 minutes. And then I think the last critique was this. I felt at some points the music wasn't really focused on, the music, you didn't really feel the impact of what TLC did during their prime. Mainly because there was so much time spent on their personal lives. And I think, honestly, you could have made a TLC movie just on their lives without the music, or you could have made a separate one around the music. But I mean, so they tried to put them together and kind of keep it in an hour and 45 minutes, but you know, with commercials it goes to 2 hours and 30. So I mean, they did what they could do, and I appreciate it. But I wish it could have been just a little bit longer. There were small details that just, ugh. I wish when they showed the robbery scene, they know for good and well that they had guns when they did it. I wanted that, but they did that really well in the scene. Small things like that. And the fact when it gets to Lisa burning down the house, it doesn't seem like you would have followed and related to why. If you saw her talk about it on the Behind the Music and interviews, she was in a really abusive relationship with Andre. They were always, and it wasn't him beating her up, because they were both knocking and popping each other, and you know, they had already been in there for domestic disturbances and blah 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 blah. And by the time she finally did burn the tennis shoes in the house or whatever, it wasn't because she was just trying to burn the house down, but it was more so she's just pissed off at Andre, and the tub happened to just spread and burn faster because he had to replace the tub from the first time she burnt it up. So, small things like that. But honestly, I really, really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really cool that they had the little recreated videos. The costuming was really good. The imaging, the makeup. Small things like the magazine covers. I like that they used real footage and kind of tried to sync it in with real stuff. That was really good. I was like, this is a pretty cool movie. At first, I was nervous because this movie was starting out a little BET Saturday D-list-ish for a minute. I was like, okay, alright, I know y'all on a budget, but it got a lot better, so I was like, cool. But the movie overall, I just think for me, And I think a lot of other people who are like big fans of TLC, or even like when you see something like the Jackson 5 movie or a Tina Turner movie, when you're a big fan of whatever that act is that has a movie, it just takes you back to a different time and place. Like, I think that's why people are big fans of music anyway, because music just takes you back to different places. It's like a timestamp to good times, bad times, whatever. But you remember what you were doing when you saw certain performances or heard certain songs. Like, I still remember being pissed watching the Grammys when they lost that Grammy to Coolio for Gangsta's Paradise. I was so pissed. Man, F this. And mind you, Coolio had brought Stevie Wonder. I don't give a fuck who that blind dude is. This is bullshit. I was so pissed. I was like 8. But, Lord, the ignorance of a child. But, you know, so small things like that. And honestly, I just remember all the different things. Like, honestly, I'll tell you why I became a TLC fan. Real talk. This is a true story. All right? First of all, I always like music because it takes me back to when I was younger. Me and my father, we always went on road trips because I'm from Seattle. My family's from California. We would always take that little 13-hour drive to Oakland, Richmond, East Bay, Benicia, that whole Bay Area. All my family's over there, if they're not in Georgia. So, real talk, this is true. Somebody broke into our truck on the way there while we were, either we stopped at somebody's house, we stopped at a hotel or some crap. But somebody broke into the truck, stole every cassette, tape, CD in that car except for Ooh on the TLC tip. That's kind of shady, ain't it? But anyway, so for that 13 hours on the way back home, we oohed on the TLC tip. And I'm like, I might have been 4 or 5. That really, like 4 or 5. And I'm just ooh on the TLC tip, and all my mouth goes, suck that monkey, hey, 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 hey. All just having me a good time. My dad was like, man, I'm starting to worry about you. But I was just in heaven. So TLC, from that point on, we were tight. And then I remember, it was interesting when I got to the fan mail era, because I remember what I was doing, because I was in Italy getting ready to move back to America when fan mail had came out, and they had MTV Italia, but my dad was cheap and he wasn't paying for no Italian cable. I ain't paying for no Italian cable, plus we get ready, go back to America. Like, so them 3 years from like 96 to 99 when I was in Italy, there was one channel for Americans to watch, American Forces Network. So, you know, but this is before everything was digital, so if you didn't have the channel, you could still kind of see it, like the little squiggly lines, kind of like when you was little and used to watch the little nasty channels, and they had the little squiggly lines. I'm telling all my business. But they had MTV Italia, and I remember one time I kind of saw the No Scrubs video in the little squiggly lines. I was like, I can't make it. I think that's TLC. So when I got back to America and found out they were back out, I was like, this is off the chain. That's also when I found out Britney Spears was black, because they used to play Baby One More Time on the radio in Italy. But of course I never saw the video, so I thought it was a black girl. I'm like, okay. So then I saw the Now 2 commercial and saw this white girl with pigtails. I'm like, what the heck? Oh, okay. Well, she's just light skinned. She's just real light skinned. That's okay. That's cool. You do you, Britney. I love you. And so it was interesting. But the movie did take me back to all these different places. Especially, I really appreciated that in the end, they didn't show how Left Eye died, because I was pissed when I saw that Left Eye documentary and she died in the last 30 seconds. Because I'm like, y'all could have told somebody. I didn't know that was coming. I was shocked. Like, my heart dropped watching that mess. And, but I just remember what I was doing at all these times. Like, honestly, that was just an interesting time period. Like, I remember Left Eye died. First of all, let me tell you, my family is the worst at delivering bad news, okay? When my grandmother died, I found out via text message in my bunk bed, okay? Because mind you, I just got out of college, and unfortunately, things didn't go the way they were supposed to go. I had to move back home with my parents for a little bit. And unfortunately, at 22, because I hadn't been home in 3 or 4 years, I still had the same bunk bed from when I was 12, so I had to climb on up there, and I'm there, laying there at 22, and then I get a text message, oh, grandma's dead. Huh? And my dad, LOL, lots of love. It's like, dang. Mind you, my dad was just upstairs. I'm like, what the heck, man? And then when Aaliyah died, my mom was trying to tell me, but she couldn't pronounce her name, and she was trying to tell me from news, some girl, Ali, and I thought she was trying to say Christina Aguilera. I'm like, oh, Christina Aguilera died. Oh, that's sad. Dang, that's terrible. That's too bad. Okay, and then I found out in church it was Aaliyah. I'm like, dang, Christina Aguilera and Aaliyah died? Dang. And then I found out it was just Aaliyah. I'm like, oh, good job, Mom. So when Left Eye died, of course, you know her last name is Lopez. My mom's still messing it up. Jennifer Lopez died last night. Oh, dang, that's too bad. Man, that's crazy. So then when I really found out Left Eye died, oh, man, that was the worst day in school. I was in 8th grade. Oh, I had a track meet. I was crying my little eyes out, and I didn't want to tell nobody why I was crying because I was too embarrassed at the reason why. So I was talking about, oh, my dog died and some other stuff. Knowing I ain't had a dog anyway. But, so, it was interesting. And then I got pissed because I was thinking about, you know, like, as a fan of TLC, I never got to see them live, mainly because I couldn't go to their concert. My mom used to be like, "No, you ain't going. You ain't old enough." And my parents were like in the church and they're like ministers and stuff. So I would remember this day forever. Okay, January 10th, 2007, 7:30 Key Arena, Seattle. I was supposed to see the Fan Mail tour. My mom was like, because what if the Rapture come back and they up there shaking? Then where you gonna be? So when Left Eye actually died, I was like, see, Mom, now thanks to you, and thanks to you, Dad, for not having a backbone and telling Mom to quit tripping, I will never get to see my favorite group live on stage. And it pains me. Now, my mother's way of apologizing was buying me the Destiny's Child Survivor DVD, and because she thought that was the same group. What? Bounce ain't in TLC? Because she called Beyonce Bounce. Bounce is not in TLC? No, Mom, this is not the right group. And at the time, I couldn't stand Destiny's Child. I really liked them now, but during that time, I was like, I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. But anyway, let me stay on topic. So it was a really great movie. I appreciate it. I would really like to see some more movie biopics from other acts. I would really love to see a Destiny's Child one. I think they would have a very interesting story. I don't know who would produce it, but I would like to get input from all 6 members, or at least the important 5 or 4. But like, I think it would be really cool to see their movie because I think they have a really great story. But you need like input from everybody, because if Beyonce and crew just write it, it's gonna be the same way TLC's movie is kind of tailored through the eyes of T-Boz and Chili. It's, you know, it's a little biased, and it kind of makes T-Boz and Chili look very angelic. Well, mine is Chili, Chili, you in Dallas. Yeah. Anyway, I know Tron was sitting at that kitchen table watching this movie like, Dad, what the heck, man? You was gonna get rid of me too? But, I don't know. I really enjoyed the movie. I think, you know, I'm glad TLC's like legacy and everything can be kind of showcased to the world to see. I think it was very clever to have Meant to Be put, at the end of the movie. Now, I'm a little pissed that y'all won't let me just buy the song, because as big as a fan as I am of TLC, I don't want to buy TLC 20 because I already have all 4 of their albums, and I have Now and Forever. So I don't want to buy another greatest hits with one song. And I'm sorry, but I already got 800 different versions of Creep in my iTunes, so I don't really want to buy another copy of the original version. Forgive me, TLC stans. I know I sound like I'm backsliding, but hey, I don't want to buy it. So can you just buy the song on Amazon? Somebody let me know, because I don't want to buy TLC 20. It's a very nice album cover, but I don't pay for one new song for an album price. I don't do that anymore. Shoot, I work in the nonprofit world. We ain't got money like that anymore. Plus, you know, I'm still working on my web series, and speaking of that, shameless plug. Alright, it comes out December 10th. It's called Generation Black. Everything is going well. We've been filming. My cast is great. You know, filming on all these different sets and locations. We're kind of going into the process of some of the video editing because, you know, I don't want to look cheap and tacky. And mind you, it's on like some really nice high quality cameras. It's not going to be in this one because I didn't want it to look like it was something I filmed in the backyard. But anyway, I was really excited about the TLC movie. I thought it was really good. I think everybody should see it. Going back to Left Eye, I'm glad that when she did pass on, they didn't show it, because I hate when they do that in the movies. You know, that's why I appreciated the Selena movie, because had I seen Yolanda's punk ass shoot Selena in the back, it would have been on. Because if you don't know, I'm not fluent in Spanish, but I am fluent in Selena, okay? El chico del apartamento 512 baila esta cambia la cargacha. No me queda más. Alright? Anyway, I'm out. Subscribe. Tell me what you think about the movie, pros, cons, and please don't start the Destiny's Child TLC arguments in the video. We ain't doing that. I like both groups, alright? They're both equally talented in different aspects. Maybe not singing, but in different aspects, okay? Maybe not in utilizing all the members of the group, but in different aspects. I like them, well, not equally. I prefer TLC just because that's what I grew up on as opposed to Destiny's Child, but still, they are both legends in their own right, so we will not do that on my timeline or on my comments section or on my Twitter page. And don't come to my Instagram doing it either. That's why I don't tell you all my business anyway. Y'all don't know what my Twitter is anyway. Alright, I'm out.